Morning. So this video is just gonna be, I guess, something that's been brewing inside of me for a while. Not necessarily anything that it's driving me crazy, but I guess something that I've been thinking about. And because I have a little bit of experience with trucking, as far as owner operators and just generally truck as an industry, trucking as an industry. Sorry, I just got these glasses. So there's a lot of questions, and I've seen a lot of people putting videos up there about whether you can make money. And I'd like to apologize as far as like the lighting and everything, because it's 4 in the morning and I can't really sleep. So yeah, I decided just to make this video. So I've seen a lot of people posting videos about the industry and what's better, whether it's owning your own truck or driving over the road or driving local. If you can you make any money? Can you succeed? And I guess, I mean, quite frankly, I think I have a lot of knowledge of it, not because I'm a very smart person, but because I've lived in it for such a long time, and we've done so many different types of trucking, different freight hauling, local, over the road, small loads, big loads, so hourly, so I think I do have a little bit of knowledge as far as that goes. And I've seen videos which are very informative. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. I think everybody that has information should post it, and YouTube, as far as when you post videos and stuff, there's a lot of people out there that they like me, when I don't know something, I go on YouTube for it. And that's why I started making videos, because I feel like YouTube is great, for anything that you need is perfect. There's so much stuff that you can learn from, and actually you can actually make money from information that people give you. So that's why I decided to make this video, not because I think I'm better than anyone, just because hopefully it helps somebody out. And like I said, there's a few things I could talk about it, and maybe I'll make more videos, more descriptive, you can say. But the way I see it is, when you talk about making money in trucking, there's various factors that you can put in perspective. And if I sit down and write all this stuff down, it would be a lot more descriptive and more informative, I can say. But I think I can narrow it down real quick, just something quick. But I think it all depends as far as when you talk about making money. It all depends on what your priorities are and what your age group is at, and also your marital status. For those that don't know what that means, maybe most of you do or don't. It means whether you're married or you're in a relationship with someone. And why do I say this? Because you can make a lot of money over the road, quite a bit of money. But if you're tied down to somebody, it's not fair for you and that person, because your mind's not gonna be in the game. Your mind's gonna be somewhere else. And maybe you're the type of person that doesn't care about that, but I'm gonna guarantee you there's gonna be a day where you're gonna be on the road, and it's gonna be a birthday, it's gonna be a special day. It might be a bad day. Something might happen to your partner or friend or girlfriend or whatever, or if you're a woman, boyfriend or whatever, something might happen, and you're not gonna be there, and then you're gonna kill yourself for it. You're gonna, not literally, I'm not literally, I'm just saying, like, you're gonna hate yourself for it. So this video might be a little bit long, and for those who watch it, great. And for those who can't watch it or get bored, I'm sorry. But if you're interested in it, I can give you some information. I'm 32 years old. I've been working with my father for a while. I've learned quite a bit, and now I can say I own my own truck. I didn't own my truck before that because I always managed my dad's business. He had quite a bit of trucks, and then we kind of downsized, just because he has our other priorities. He's a pastor, and he's been doing that longer than he's been trucking. And I guess they would go hand in hand. He's been doing almost both things at the same time. That's beside the point. The point was that I've always stuck by my dad, and I didn't want to do my own thing because I felt like if I did my own thing, I couldn't manage my dad's business. And the way I see it now, I'm thankful I didn't, branch out, because that would have been difficult for me. And things worked out the way they worked out. As you guys know, or who don't know, I'm Christian. I believe in the Lord, and I think God does everything for a reason. So, but anyway, let's get back to the point. Why do I talk about myself and all this? Because there's a time and a place. You have to have a mindset, and there's a lot of variables that go to trucking, and there's a lot of things that affect whether you make money or not. If you're a very person that has a lot of anxiety, you might not want to own your truck right off the bat, and because it's probably going to go bad for you. And I'm telling you, because in trucking's like a gamble. There's days where you're not going to work, and there's days you're going to work a lot. So before I get into everything, like I said, this video is getting long. I'm looking at the time. It's already 6 minutes. But before you get into everything when it comes to trucking, the most important thing you got to think about is whether you can handle not working, and you're not going to go crazy, and whether you can save money. If you're a type of person that has very hard problems saving money, I wouldn't recommend owning your own truck, because there's going to be days where you're going to have to spend $500-$600 for a tire or brakes or whatever. Trucks break. People think because they buy a 2016 or even a brand new truck that they don't break. Trucks break, man. And I would advise against buying a new truck, but for people that don't know anything about trucks, unless you have a really honest and good mechanic that doesn't charge you very much, you're better off not owning an older truck, because you're gonna get hammered if you have an older truck. See, like us, we know how to fix pretty much everything on the truck, so we don't have that problem. I mean, when I'm very tired and I don't want to work on the truck, I'll pay one of the mechanics that I know. I guess you could call them friends or acquaintances. That they're not very expensive, but most of the time I do everything myself. Tires, I do myself. I mean, there's videos where I've done tires. I do a little bit of everything, unless I'm very beat up or tired or I have something to do, then I'll have somebody do it. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? These things, there's so many factors that go into owning your truck. And if you're breaking even, or if you're making a little bit of money, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, because you're gonna get hammered with taxes. There's gonna be a major problem with your truck, and then you're gonna be all upset because you have to pay $20,000 or $15,000 for your engine. That's just how trucking is. For those that don't know, that's how it is. Trucking's not like flipping burgers. You flip burgers today and you get fired, you don't have any overhead. Trucking, whether you work or not, you still got to make the payments. Whether you work or not, you still have to have a yard to park your truck. And here in California, you can't just park your truck anywhere, because it has to be commercial. So it's expensive. That's what I'm getting at. That's also too, it has a lot to do to where you live and your area, whether there's work, there's no work. So basically, the way it gets down to owning your truck, is there any money in trucking, etc., etc. I think it all has to do with, like I said, your mentality. But quite frankly, you can make some money in trucking. First of all, if you're very smart, if you prepare yourself, and you ask questions. Me, I'm the type of person, I might not look it, but I'm the type of person that I ask all kinds of questions. And when I ask questions to people, it's because I have an intention behind it. I'm trying to find information, not because I'm being nosy, but because it benefits me. And I learned that from my dad. So I always ask questions because I want to know, what's going on and how the business environment is and how everything's working. So I'm going to give a few tips to those guys. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can be young, you can be older than me, it doesn't matter. But for those guys that want to buy their truck, inform yourself. And the second thing is, find out mentally if you can be away from your house. And the third thing, find out if you're willing to stick by the truck 4, 5, 6 years. It might take you to make some money, real money, and pay the truck off, and actually, because your investment has to pay out. You can't just make an investment and not make any money. There's no point. You're better off just driving for somebody. So is there any money in trucking over the road and locally? I personally know there's money over the road. There's quite a bit of money over the road, but there's major factors that they pushed me away from over the road. As you guys know, I did over the road about what, 8 years, something like that, 7 years, something like that. But over the road, you make really good money, but you're away from your family. You can't go out. You can't go to social events. You can't go to church. You can't birthday parties, gatherings, whatever. You can't because you're always away. Unless you go to random places where you don't know anybody or make friends over the road. I don't know, but I'm not that type of person. You know, I don't. When I work, I work. You know, I could care less about. You know, I'm friendly with people, but I don't hang out with anybody unless we're there for a day and maybe I'll get a bite to eat, but that's about it. But most of the time when I was over the road, I would get my load there, and I already had a load coming back, and I didn't care about anything else. All I cared about was delivering the load and picking up the other load. And so that's one of the main things, you know, and that's over the road. And then also too, DOT. You know, now with the e-logs and everything, your truck has to be up to date. You got to be checking everything. Everything has to be up to date, and you have more expenses. You know, your truck's on the road constantly. Your tires are going to get more worn out than if you were local. You know, you have more expenses as far as food. You can't cook for yourself unless you have the time. You have all this stuff on your truck, so you're going to spend a little bit more money on food, as if you were at home. So, but like I said, you do make money. So, you know, it's it's up to you. And if you're a good businessman, if you're a good salesman, that you can sell yourself, and you can, you know, get some good work direct. When I mean direct, it means directly from the shipper. There's no intermediate person, no broker. The broker would take money out of your pocket, which, you know, that's their job. You know, they earned it. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody's showing up to the dance. 50 trucks today. So, where was that? Yeah, brokers. So if you're able to get your own work, and you know you're able to guarantee that you can get the load there on time, whatever, you can make more money than other people as if they had a broker. And we're talking about over the road. I'm getting more into technicalities, but let's just get away from that, because if not, this video is going to be way too long. I'll make a video about that later. But my point being is, that's what you have to look at, whether you want to be local and you want to be over the road. To start off, over the road's easier because it's a little bit more work over the road. Because maybe you guys don't know this, but most people don't want to be away from their family. They don't want to be over the road unless you're really young, like I was, and you don't have any, you know, you're not tied down to anything or anybody. So now local is ideal for those guys that have a family, or the guys that don't really want to deal with all over the road. The only problem with local, it's harder to get work locally. Even here in California, it's hard because they don't pay as well, and there's a lot of competition. So what do you do when you want to get local? Well, you find out. If you want to be local, you find out, you ask questions, and you check out. You go to a yard, you know, or you go in your yard. You know, here in California, like I said, there's not very many places to park trucks. So when there's places to park trucks, there's usually a lot of trucks. And you can talk to people, and you find out who was doing what and where they're going. And that way you find out what's moving. Excuse me. That way you find out, you know, what's paying. You know, where do you get the money, or what's better locally. And that's how we found out about, you know, dump business. And like I said, I'll make another video how to make money in that. And that actually can help quite a bit of people out. But in the dump business, you know, in the dirt business, the construction business here now in LA, you know, we're getting by pretty good. So we're not making as much money as I hear other people over the road, but the good thing about here, your tires last longer, your brakes last longer, You know, well, not really, but you know, you don't have to stress so much over where if you break down, you're out there in the middle of nowhere. You got to get one of those service guys to come out and fix you, and fix your truck, and they're gonna rape you. You know what I'm saying? And did I just say that? Yeah. Sorry about that. I meant take advantage of you. Sorry, it's a habit. We all say it. So, you know, out here in you know, when you're home, you get some regular dude, you know, even a friend. Hey, bro, give me a hose or whatever. You know, give me a belt, and the dude brings it out to you. You replace it yourself, or he does it for you, $50. You know what I'm saying? It's cheap. But over the road, I mean, the guy to bring you a belt, he'll charge you 2 hours, and then and then you gotta pay for my wife's ring too, and it's just ridiculous. So that's the downside to over the road locally. And over the road, I'm a little bit disconnected now, so I wouldn't really know where to start to get work. I would have to get back into it. But locally, you know, I can confidently say that I can give some information for people that are interested in that. And if you are and you watch this video, maybe you know, a lot of people I don't have a lot of views, but sometimes people are interested in the topic and they click on it. So if there's something that interested anybody, shoot me a message on the comment section, and I'll, you know, as soon as I see it, I usually check it quite a bit, and I'll make a video about it. So why am I saying all these things? I feel like it's good to help people out, and it's good to inform people about, you know, making money, because I feel like out there nobody's really going to give you a lot of information, and a lot of it's misinformation, and I don't understand why people do that. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have information, if you know certain things, why not help people out? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know, I guess everybody's different, and like I said, a lot of people have helped me out, and even those that haven't, eventually, some way or another, God has blessed me through them, which is kind of ironic, but that's the way God works. So it's a long video, but yeah, you gotta look into all that. But is there money to be made over the road? Yeah. Is there money to be made locally? Yeah. Where would you start? That's the question. So if you're looking for a truck, if you're trying to buy a truck, or if you're working for a company, you're a truck driver, and you want to buy your own truck, you know, I would personally advise you guys, or whoever, anybody that's interested in doing that, write down how much money you waste a month, how much money you have to live with. If you're a single guy, hopefully you don't waste a lot of money. If you're married, hopefully you don't waste a lot of money as well. So put these things down, and don't think about, I'm going to get a loan, and I'm going to get another loan, and because if you do that, you're just going to get yourself in a hole and destroy whatever you already have. So you got to, when you buying a truck is starting a business, and when you start a business, you have to be self-sufficient. You can't be the type of person that throws any dime that you get in your pocket. You already got your check. You're already going to the bank and pulling money out or whatever, cashing the check out, and already wasting the money. If you're doing that, you're never going to be able to own your own truck. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's going to be difficult, because you need to put fuel. You need to make sure that you have your license paid for, your registration, your insurance, and then you need parking. I mean, at the end of the month, you have so many bills you haven't even worked. And if you have a bad attitude, that's the other thing too. Your attitude determines whether you're going to work or not. If you're a person that they send you somewhere and you never want to go, or no, I don't go here, no, I don't want to go there, you know, brokers or whoever, they're not going to give you work, because you're a complicated person. When you're a complicated person, you're not going to work anywhere. So you got to work on your attitude, and you got to work. And hopefully these things that I'm saying you don't have a problem with. But if you do, you can still work on it. I'm just giving tips. So those things will determine whether you succeed or fail. And I think if you're a person that wants to, succeed in life, you will make those changes. And if you do, you know, I'll guarantee you, you're gonna work and you're gonna be successful. I mean, we all go through it. We all, you know, I had my things I had to change, and I still do. I still have a lot of stuff I have to change. But I think those things made me the person I am today, and I'm able to get, you know, work for me, my family, me, my brother, my dad, and dispatch everybody and get work for everybody and other people. So, like I said, if you're determined, if you're wise, you succeed. And take advice from people, even if you don't like them. You know, some people that I don't agree with, sometimes they do give me some good advice, and I do listen to it, even if I don't agree with the stuff they say. Some of the advice they say, it's pretty good. So write down these things when you're thinking about, you know, starting a business. Write these things down, and write down what you owe, how you're living, how much money you're missing, and then start, you know, visualizing on your head how much money you would need a month to be able to maintain your own truck, and how much money you need to make. So like I said, if you guys are interested in all that, shoot me a message and I'll make another video. I just kind of want to throw this out there and see how it helps out. But I have a lot of stuff I can write down and show you guys more or less what I make and how I work, and hopefully that'll give you some sort of vision of how to approach this, how to approach the business. All right, guys. So yeah, like I said, send me a message, and owning your truck is not about just adding 2 + 2. Owning your truck is about a lot more than that. You have to do a lot of planning, a lot of research, and that's what I advise everybody.